Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Marianne Day and I'm a Research Associate in the University of Sheffield's Autism Research Lab in the UK. In this video abstract, I'm going to describe a study which we've recently had published in Autism called Understanding the Barriers to Hiring Autistic People as Perceived by Employers in the UK. We carried out this study because rates of unemployment for autistic people are currently very high. In the UK, it is thought that only around 3 in 10 of autistic people are in any form of employment, and autistic people are more likely to be underpaid and in roles that do not match their skills or education. Access to employment is important for autistic people to have financial independence, but employment also has other positive impacts on mental and physical health. Underemployment of autistic people also means that employers are not able to fully access a skilled workforce, and high levels of unemployment have wider social costs. We particularly wanted to address this issue by looking at the employer perspective on why they might not be employing more autistic people. This is because if we can understand these barriers, then we can move on to look at how to address them and to improve employment outcomes. To do this, we surveyed over 1,200 people who had hiring responsibilities in their organisations. This could be people who interviewed candidates, wrote job profiles, selected candidates, and so on. We asked them about their motivations around hiring autistic people, their knowledge about autism, and how to make workplace changes to support autistic people, and whether they had strategies or processes in their workplace to do this at present. We based these questions on the Cone-B model of behaviour, which states that for a behaviour to occur, people must have the capability, opportunity, and motivation to perform that behaviour. Capability could include things such as having the knowledge needed to carry out a behaviour. In terms of employment, this could be knowledge about autism or about how to support autistic people in the workplace. Opportunity might be social or physical, so social factors could include the social and organisational norms around hiring people with autism, while physical factors could include the policies and resources available to hirers and managers to support inclusive hiring. Motivational factors include thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. So, for example, whether an employer thinks that there will be positive or negative consequences of employing more autistic people. It was important to base our questions on a behavioural framework such as Cone-B so that we could systematically identify relevant barriers, which can then be used to develop evidence-based interventions to improve employment for autistic people. We found that intentions to hire autistic people were higher for employers with higher levels of knowledge and for those who reported previous experience of hiring autistic people. We also found that employers were generally positive about their intentions to hire autistic people and to make changes in the workplace, including to hiring practices. So this is a good start. However, we know that intentions do not always match actions, and also that any good intentions are not feeding into positive employment outcomes for autistic people at the moment. Where we did find barriers was in knowledge and access to inclusive workplace practices. Employers did not always feel that they had adequate knowledge about autism or about how to make workplace adjustments for autistic people. There were also some stereotype beliefs about autistic people. For example, beliefs that there were roles which were ideally suited to autistic employees, such as in IT and data analysis, and other roles which were not, such as public-facing roles or roles in noisy environments. While this may be the case for some autistic employees, generalising these expectations to all autistic people is likely to limit their opportunities for employment. Employers expressed concerns related to hiring autistic people. These included impacts on workplace relationships, workplace productivity, the time and cost burdens of additional training, and having to make adjustments to the workplace. Employers also reported limited access to strategies, policies, and procedures in their workplace to improve their hiring practices at the present time. Our findings suggest that increasing employers' knowledge of autism would be helpful, particularly where it challenges existing stereotypes. Also, the findings suggest that employers are likely to need specific guidance on how to support autistic applicants and employees and to have access to resources which will help them to put appropriate procedures in place. As part of this project, we have worked with a steering group of autistic adults and a steering group of employers. As well as ensuring that our research methods are appropriate from an autistic and employer perspective, these groups have helped us to develop some solutions to the barriers which we identified. This includes producing resources which signpost to appropriate guidance and support for employers, which share employment experiences, both positive and where there have been challenges, and which provide flexible checklists and templates that employers can download and adapt or use in their workplaces. The next stage of our project will be to test some of these resources with a sample of employers. We hope that these resources will enable employers to be more inclusive of autistic employees and applicants. If you have any questions or comments about this study, or you would like to find out more about the research we are doing in the Sheffield Autism Research Lab, you can contact me via email or use the QR code to access our study group website. Thank you.